Hello and welcome to my channel. My name's Raw and today we're gonna be talking about WandaVision, so stick through it. So WandaVision was kind of huge for these past weeks. We all know that, and obviously if you're here you've seen the series because yeah, I'm gonna talk spoilers, so get a grip on that. The series starts out with Wanda and Vision being married, and they get to this town, Westview, and well, they start living the married life. There's a few little comments like, "Oh, my husband and his indestructible head," that just went and just hurt me, yes. And there's been a lot of things to talk about. First of all, in the first episodes, I was very much concerned about Wanda and Vision and how this all came to be, but I wasn't theorizing as much as you will think. I was just focused on their relationship and how it developed. Especially because in the previous movies, I'm gonna say it, I wasn't fond of Wanda. I mean, it is very hard for me in general to like characters, and when they are not fleshed out, I tend to not care about them so much. And in the movies, they didn't pay that much attention to Wanda, so it's not a character that just, I don't know, provoked a lot in me. So when it comes to a part of the series, I was very excited to start it out because I wanted to see that development that the movies have been lacking in my perspective. Because the movies have it didn't play out her character and didn't make it justice. Not in the way the series made, which is incredible because it is very character based and just tells us a lot about her story. So once the story starts out, get, getting married to Vision, going to Westview, and all of that, because of her grief. I knew since the very start that it was because of that. I did not have any doubts. I wasn't thinking, oh my god, this is Mephisto, this was the work of somebody else. No, I was just thinking, Wanda has the power to do this. She totally does. So she did this because she's experiencing so much grief that creating an alternate reality was the only way of dealing with it, like just blocking all of those memories. And it is something that you can see, how she herself blocked that part of it, and that there is a part of her that remembers it, but she tries to block it out and just keep on the happy life and keep on doing the things that it does. Another crazy thing and beautiful thing that played out during the story that we get to know about Wanda in episode 8 is that she really likes sitcoms, and that's the reason why WandaVision has that sitcom format that she was basically projecting onto that, because she got away from every little bit of hurt in her life, and it was a way of coping. Every single time that happened, sitcoms and comedy and things like that just made her feel better, which is so important for her character. The fact that she goes around and she searches for something that's actually trying to help her. So that's the basis, and I think that it was so well done, and I was so happy that they did it because I just grew so much closer to Wanda's character, and oh God, it was just beautiful. When Wanda thinks very low of herself at some points, as to think that she's a villain. I don't actually consider her a villain. She's just a person who's experiencing so much, and she doesn't know how to deal with that. Nobody's giving her being giving her a hand in help, and there are some things that you just cannot go through alone. And Wanda had to. Wanda had to, because she was left alone and no one was there helping her. So Wanda's journey throughout the entirety, and just her getting the extent of her powers, getting to know better about herself and all of that, it was just impressive to me, and it was so well done that I am so happy in how they did it. And I don't know, I give a huge round of applause to the writers of the show for doing that, and for giving us a beautiful path of character development. I love it. So I did not have half of an idea that Agatha was going to show up. So, and I avoid reading comments from people on the internet, because they tend to get their hopes too high up, and I want to avoid that, because I'm not like that. I just like to enjoy the series for what it is. So that's what I did. So Agatha first shows up as Agnes, and she's the noisy neighbor, and she's such a hilarious character. And I think that Catherine Hahn made an impressive job in doing it. So it was amazing. I mean, like, she was crazy in so many points, and she made me just have so much curiosity about things that were happening. I mean, like the comment that she made about Monica not having a home, and just arriving in town and not having a job and not having a role in general, and how she's basically an outsider and things like that. And everything she did was incredible, especially when she starts breaking character, and she asked Wanda in one of the episodes that if she should start from the top because they screw up the lines. And that was crazy, because she's basically one of the reasons why Wanda starts just seeing what's happening around her, and also why Vision starts to question it, which is just like, oh my god, just break apart from this reality. You have to do it, girl. You have to do it. And it's just crazy, and I really love her character and how they played it out, and she's so well done. One thing that I have to say is that we get to see her in her full form, especially in the last two episodes, and we get to see how Agatha is a witch, and how she was out there in the silent trial, in the times of the silent trials, and well, everything that happened in there. I just want to say that first, visually, that was impressive and beautiful, and I was just so content with that scene. But the scene that I like the most, and that I will probably never forget, is
this is chaos magic, Wanda. And that makes you the Scarlet Witch.
That, oh god, I have never been so excited for something in my life, but when I heard that, I was just sold. It was incredible. And just in general, Agatha's role in this was to make Wanda realize of what was happening, and I just think she was a great addition, and I hope we can see so much more of her in the future, because first of all, Catherine Hahn, amazing. God, I love her. And besides that, I just think that the fact that we just left Agatha alive, it just brings so much more, because on difference to Wanda, she has the knowledge, and it's something that's gonna play out a very important part of constructing Wanda in the future, because she doesn't have the knowledge that Agatha has. So maybe she can become sort of a helping hand in the future, which is always good, especially with how powerful Wanda is and how much she's actually gonna need someone who understands her power or understand her capacities far more than she does, especially when it comes to magic, because even though the Scarlet Witch doesn't need incantations, and she doesn't need a covenant, she doesn't need that, she's still a human being who's bound to make mistakes. So having a person who could help her, that would be amazing. So I will very much be glad to see Agatha Harkness again. I really want that. this is a character that I'm not alone a lot in it, but this is a character that I was very excited to see. First, I've got to say that when she showed up, and I mean, like, she first appears as Geraldine, but then we find out she's actually Monica Rambeau and she's a SWORD agent. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it just took me a long minute to realize that she was Maria's Rambeau daughter, Maria Rambeau's daughter, and that she appeared, that her first apparition, the character's first apparition, was in Captain Marvel, because I watched that movie recently, but I just tend to forget everything that happens in it. I need to watch it again. So it took me a moment to realize, but when I did, I was like so happy it happened, because first of all, her character is super interesting, and not only that, but the moment she comes out of the hex, she actually wants to help Wanda. And I think that's just a beautiful thing to do, you know, like how she understood where Wanda was coming from and how she actually wanted to help, because she was experiencing something very similar. So she was experiencing loss and she understood that loss, and she wanted to help Wanda to get through it, because yeah, these things you cannot go through alone. And I don't know, I just think it's awesome. And I just want to say how hyped I am for her future apparitions. I know that she's gonna come back in Captain Marvel 2. It's gonna be amazing, and I don't know what name they're gonna give her, Pulse or Spectre. I don't know which one they're gonna pick, but the moment they do, it's just gonna be impressive. So let's talk about my theory. When I first watched the first episodes and all of that, so I started watching the series when the 7th episode wasn't shown yet, so I watched the first 6 episodes. And when Pietro, so Quicksilver, appears for the first time, I was just so happy, especially because it's Evan Peters and I'm a huge X-Men fan. So you can imagine, I was so thrilled and happy because I actually had an idea for this. And my idea was, Wanda has the power to create another reality. And what if doing so, she actually breached realities, like she created a bridge between realities and just opened a door to another universe? And what if if the role she casted and the one she casted is actually the X-Men's Pietro, or Peter Maximoff, you know, which means, you know, it opens the door for including the X-Men in the MCU, which I was so thrilled. I mean, like, it's a simple story. They could have played it out. I was hopeful. It will happen, but I didn't have my hopes up, honestly, and I didn't expect they do it. I wanted it to be that way, but I am not actually mad that it didn't happen, and I'm not angry that they did not give us the X-Men and all of that, because I think that it's still too early maybe, and that they want to flesh it out in some other ways, you know, especially because, I don't know, the X-Men have an important factor, that it's the Wolverine, and honestly, I don't want them to cast a new Wolverine. I don't want anyone except Hugh Jackman to do the character, same as I don't want anyone to do the character of Deadpool but Ryan Reynolds, because no one's gonna do it better than him. And just I just don't wish to see that. I don't want a new Wolverine in the same way that I don't want a new Iron Man. That's it. So, and same happens with some other characters, because, for example, Michael Fassbender as Eric Lensher and James McAvoy as Charles Xavier. I don't want anyone but them, because I'm not only attached to those characters, but I'm also so happy in how they pull them through. So I hope that when they actually include the X-Men, I keep getting it wrong. Learn to speak, girl. So I hope that when they actually include the characters, we get to see something good about it, because I don't want them screwing it up. I swear that if they screw it up and then they bring other actors, I'm just gonna be so mad. That's gonna make me angry. But now coming back to Pietro, so it is. I'm actually not mad on how it turned out to be, because first of all, the Quicksilver from the X-Men would actually left his ass off at Rathboner, because that's stupid. It's just simply stupid. So I'm not mad about it. Not only I'm not mad, but I am actually glad on how they played it out, because like I said, I didn't want them to screw it up. Of course I had certain hopes about it, because I wanted it to be. I was actually hoping that that will happen, but instead of Pietro, it turned out to be Pietro. And I actually thought that it was a very clever device to be used by Agatha, because, yeah, Wanda was so desperate, of bringing people back from the dead and all of that, of having her family with her, that it is very believable that she will recast him, but that she will just believe that anyone who came into her life and just simply resembled the brother figure will just be received. And she did that. Of course, she then rejects him, but it still happened. And what I'm glad about is that Evan just showed up. He's an excellent actor. He actually made some pretty awesome things, and the fact that we got to see them in the comics costumes, it was incredible. I'm just happy. And to put a final point to this, I need to talk about the finale, because the finale broke me. It broke me. It just, God, that was. Let me tell you one thing. Coming from the fact that it was a character-based storyline, I was so happy with how it turned out to be, because we closed the story, we wrapped it up in such a beautiful manner, and it was actually nice how it happened, how I don't know, everything about it. It was just incredible. What are you doing? She's coming here. Yeah, she's coming here. She also wants to be. So let's talk about it. First of all, Wendy's transformation was amazing. I loved it.
Oh God, you don't know what you've done.
So it was just, dude, if you watched it, you know what I'm talking about. It was just waiting for so long to see that happen. It was incredible. It was amazing. I am so happy that it did. I just love it in so many ways. Then, when she's saying goodbye to her children and just telling them, thank you for choosing me to be your mom, that wrecked me as well. That was just too much for me. And then her goodbye to Vision was also just crazy. God, her explaining to him that he's the piece of the mind stone that's left in her, and how he's a body of wires, and everything that he's created by memories. And then him pointing out all the things that he has been, and just being hopeful for the future and what he could be, and just, I don't know, just knowing that White Vision is out there, and it may not have the gemstone, but it has Vision's memories, and what it could be in the future. And then just finally saying goodbye and saying that it stands to reason that they're gonna say hello again. I'm broke. Now, Wanda's final scene, which is in the cabin when she's in her astral projection, and she's reading the Darkhold, and she hears her children calling for her. We know that that ties up to Doctor Strange and the and the Multiverse of Madness, and I am so excited for that. I do not have theories about it, but I know that there are gonna be happening some pretty crazy things. I loved WandaVision. It's not a perfect show. I wouldn't say it's perfect because it lagged in some points, but it was very strong. It has strong bases, and I really like to see that. I mean, like, you can never do something as perfect, but you can not only make something entertaining but heartwarming. And the show just gave me what I wanted, which was to get a better understanding of Wanda, and not only that, but just getting attached to her character and just getting to know her in ways that I didn't before. And it gave me what I wanted. It was her story, and it did an amazing job telling it. So I am quite happy about it. So that's pretty much it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm pretty sure that this is a hell of a long video, but if you stick to it, thank you. Subscribe if you will want to see more content on Marvel. I actually have a lot in store for the future, so I hope that I can film a lot of things about it. I'm gonna be reviewing the episodes of Falcon and the Winter Soldier the day they come out, and probably the day after I'm gonna be doing it. It's gonna be full of spoilers, so just watch out. And that's it. Always remember to be positive, kind, and curious, and that's my cue to leave. Goodbye. Have a good day.